And here it is. It is here. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. It is here. Here I am. Hope you are there. The session comment says your company is required. So we start this session especially properly today. So to attention as the session begins. To attention.
National anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
And there you heard it right from the very beginning. Nigeria, we hail thee. Forget our rights, or compatriot. It is still Nigeria, we hail thee. So Nigeria, we hail thee. Us guys, un momento, por favor. So, Nigeria, we hail thee. As guys, I bring you this. Breaking, Niger Governor Bello takes over from Buni as APC caretaker chairman. So, we were just joking yesterday to say that we hope that Yemi Oshibanjo does not burn the house down whilst Buhari is away, because the last time that Buhari transited power to this guy, he burnt the house down. So, burning the house down almost immediately, Niger Governor Bello takes over from Mia Malabuni as APC caretaker chairman. So quite what that is, because the caretaker chairman, they are having their convention just in a few weeks' time, where they will choose the substantive chairman. So quite why they've made this move. Hopefully, I will find out in the course of this session. Police take over ruling APC National Secretariat over party crisis. So the party now imploding from from within, in the public glare. So this there's no shrouding it anymore. It's now in open display. Buhari never sacked Buni as caretaker committee chair, APC. So it looks as though they chose the moment that Buhari was away to strike. So this is just what is in play now. Governor Bello storms APC secretariat, meets committee members. So it looks as though the committee members might well be complicit in all that. So all of that in play. So to the next story, PDP challenges Buhari AGF's move to amend newly signed electoral bill. So that electoral bill that we were all celebrating, that will move Nigeria in the direction of a free and fair election. ABUBAKAR Malami, who has political ambitions himself, trying to insert almost immediately a rigging clause into that newly signed electoral bill. So that is in play. Court orders Buhari National Assembly not to tamper with the Electoral Act 2022. But when has a court order ever meant anything to Aboki from Daura? And we land on this 36th year memorial. How IBB executed VATSA. Our wife narrates last moments. So just so many people were killed, of course, by IBB, and one of them, MAMMAN VATSA, one of the most celebrated ones. So quite what played out there, we'll find out just shortly. So kick back, lean back, take it easy. Click on the like button, of course, as soon as you are coming in, and click on the subscribe button as well. If you have not done that already, then please do that. So chill, take it easy, do the click-ins, and let me provide a little bit of a musical backdrop as you go about clicking the like and the subscribe button. So click the buttons.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is MoBM. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kokwana mno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Gonna sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting it right, getting it faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting it right. Holy, holy, faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is MoBM. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno wao. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo.
And there you heard it. Holy, 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 holy. Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. The Okoro people from the east, Amomo Yibo. So, holy, 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 holy Nnamdi Kanu is their other savior. As guys, I bring you this. Niger Governor Bello takes over from Mia Buni as APC caretaker chairman. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State on Monday arrived at the national headquarters of the All Progressive Congress, Abuja, to take over as chairman of the caretaker/extraordinaire Convention Planning Committee, CECPC, of the party. The development comes amidst a rumored crisis plaguing the leadership, plaguing the leadership of the APC. President Mohamed Buhari had allegedly approved the removal of Yobe State Governor Mia Buni as the chairman of the CECPC and in his stead appointed his Niger State counterpart Abubakar Sani Bello. Meanwhile, on Monday, Bello arrived at the APC headquarters and is currently in a meeting with the leadership of the party. A tweet from TVC reads, Niger State Governor at Bello has arrived at the national headquarters of the APC to take over as chairman of the CECPC from Yobe State Governor Mia Buni. Secretary Caretaker Committee John, I won't attempt his last name, has also arrived at the National Secretariat. The leadership of the party is currently in a closed-door meeting with Niger State Governor. According to reports, some APC governors were alleged to have complained bitterly to the president that Buni was not inclined to hold the convention as rescheduled because there were no preparations on ground to indicate so. So it looks as though they moved swiftly now to get rid of the guy. They're saying that Buhari is complicit with that, but just how true that is, we'll find out soon enough. Police take over ruling APC National Secretariat over party crisis. President Mohamed Buhari has allegedly sacked Yobe State Governor Mia Buni as the chairman of the APC caretaker/extraordinaire Convention Planning Committee. The Niger State Governor, Sani Bello, would take over the affairs of the party, correspondents report. However, the secretary of the caretaker committee, Senator John James, I won't attempt his last name, noted that there is no leadership change in the party. He affirmed that the media report is fake and should be disregarded. Our attention has been drawn to a sponsored media report on an imaginary leadership change in the All Progressive Congress APC caretaker/extraordinaire Convention Planning Committee. The media report is fake news and should be disregarded. The APC is a progressive political party guided by rules. Leadership changes are not announced by sources through name dropping in the media. We urge our teaming supporters, members, and indeed the general public to remain calm and support the Governor Mia Buni-led APC CEC-PC to conduct a rancor-free and credible national convention deserving of our great party, he said in a statement. Meanwhile, all roads linking the secretariat in Wuse 2 has remained blocked, thus stopping vehicular movement. The party members and staff at the secretariat are not being allowed to freely enter or exit. A policeman told newspapers that the police are here to prevent breakdown of law and order. So that is the assertion and the denial, but seeing is believing. And here is now a short little video clip of the Niger State Governor Bello arriving and seizing charge of the APC Secretariat. So here it is.
Yes. Fight chairman.
Chacha chairman. Brand new chairman.
Welcome here, Mr. President. Your Excellency.
So then you saw it with your very own eyes. You could hear the praise singers in the background. Our brand new chairman, change of guard. That is the narrative. And that is the governor of our Niger State, Sani Bello, arriving at the APC headquarters in Abuja to seize charge of that space. So there it is. So the assertion and the denial, and now the doubling down on it. Buhari never sacked Buni as caretaker committee chair, APC. The All Progressive Congress APC has described as fake and imaginary the report in some sections of the media of a purported leadership change in the party. John, I won't attempt his last name, the National Secretary, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, CECPC, said this in a statement on Monday in Abuja in reaction to the report. Our attention has been drawn to sponsored, so I think we've read this already. Our attention has been drawn to sponsored media reports of an imaginary leadership change in the APC, CECPC. The media report is fake news and should be disregarded. The APC is a progressive political party guided by rules. Leadership changes are not announced by sources through name dropping in the media, John said. He, therefore, urged the party's teaming supporters, members, and general public to remain calm. The APC stalwart also asked members of the party to continue to support Governor Buni led APC CECPC to conduct a rancor-free and credible national convention deserving of the party. APC National Convention has been slated for the 26th of March to elect new national executives of the party, currently being managed by the CECPC. A section of the media had at the weekend reported that President Muhammad Buhari had sacked Buni as the chairman of the APC CECPC and appointed Governor Sani Bello of Niger as a sole administrator of the party. So there it is right there, a short, sharp, and quite decisive change of guards in APC. Governor Bello storms APC secretariat to meet committee members. So that is the video clip that we saw just then. The Niger State Governor Sani Bello is currently in a closed-door meeting with some members of the caretaker committee of the APC. There are reports that Bello is meeting with the party committee ahead of his move to assume the leadership of the party. This is coming at the time President Buhari allegedly removed Yobe State Governor Buni as the chairman of the APC's caretaker committee. A voice heard in a video spotted by correspondents described Niger State Governor as the chairman. It was gathered that Bello is currently meeting with 9 out of the 12 members of the caretaker committee of the party. Recall that the national secretary of the caretaker committee, John James, I won't attempt his last name, on Monday described the report that Buni had been removed as chairman as fake news and baseless. John James called on members of the ruling party to disregard the news. So there it is, but the video evidence tells us to the contrary. So there it is right there. It never rains but it pours. It's just a drama, a minute within the APC. And that party is going to, that party almost certainly will disintegrate at the end of Buhari's administration. Because what is holding it together is that presidency. And as soon as Buhari is out of situation, and if they lose the next election, which almost likely they will, it will disintegrate. And even if they win the next election, it will still disintegrate. PDP challenges Buhari, Attorney General of the Federation's move to amend newly signed Electoral Act. So they are already looking to insert rigging clauses into the new act. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has sued President Muhammad Buhari before a federal high court in Abuja, challenging fresh moves to tamper with the newly amended Electoral Act signed into law recently. Others joined in the suit are the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Senate President, Speaker of the House, Clerk of the National Assembly, Senate Leader, House of Representative Leader, and INEC. Also joined at the etc. etc. They just go. PDP suit was brought by their counsel, James Ogwu Onoja SAN, is asking the court for an order of interim injunction restraining Buhari and other defendants from refusing to implement the duly signed Electoral Act or in any manner withholding the Electoral Act from being put to use, including the provision of Section 8412 of the said Act, pending the resolution of the suit. PDP also applied for an order of court stopping the National Assembly from giving effect to President Buhari's request to remove Section 8412 from the Electoral Act or take any steps that will make the provision inoperative, pending the resolution of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. The PDP contended that having assented to the bill on February the 25th, 2022, Buhari cannot give any directive to the National Assembly to take immediate steps to remove the section or any section of the Act on any ground whatsoever. So there it is right there. So because they want to facilitate for Abubakar Malami holding on to his ministerial position and still vying for an elective position, but at the same time, because Abubakar Malami knows that as soon as he leaves that office, it's fair game, it's naked. And so he wants to hold on to his office and also either contend for his state governorship or for the vice presidential slot or even for the presidency itself. So he's in contention for party nominations, but also wants to hold on to his office to use that to leverage his political ambitions. So this one selfish act now, this guy wants to change the constitution to facilitate for that. Court orders Buhari National Assembly not to tamper with Electoral Act 2022. The Abuja division of the Federal High Court has stopped President Mohamed Buhari, the Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malami, and the Senate President Ahmed Lawan from tampering with the newly amended Electoral Act 2022. The judge, Iyang Ekwo, in a ruling on an ex parte application by the People's Democratic Party (PDP), agreed that the act had become a valid law and cannot be tampered with without following due process. Mr. Ayang held that the proper place to challenge the validity of any existing law was in a court of competent jurisdiction. The PDP, through its counsel, James Onoja, sued Buhari alongside others, challenging what it described as a bid to tinker with the newly amended Electoral Act. Apart from Messrs. Malami and Lawan, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbadagba-Mila, the Clerk of the National Assembly, Senate Leader, House Leader, and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) were defendants in the suit. Also joined in the suit are marked blah blah blah, were the Deputy Senate President, Deputy Speaker, Deputy Leader, deputy this and deputy that. The party prayed the court for an order of interim injunction restraining the defendants from refusing to implement the signed Electoral Act. PDP also applied for an order of the court stopping the National Assembly from giving effect to Mr. Buhari's request to remove Section 8412 from the Electoral Act or take any steps to make the provision inoperative pending the resolution of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. Uh, uh, PDP also applied for an order of court stopping the National Assembly from giving effect to Mr. Buhari's request to remove Section 8412 from the Electoral Act or take any step to make the provision inoperative pending the resolution of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. Hearing of the matter was fixed for the 21st of March. So there you are. They are already looking to insert a rigging clause in the bill. So there it is. We take one more story and then we'll see if there's anybody in the room that wants to take on the talking points. Let me make sure that the hyperlink is there because people often say that I don't put. Although I do put, I've never once missed it, but all this they don't want to scroll up, all these lazy people, and there it is. So there it is. So let's now go to the last talking points, and then we'll see if there's anybody in to take it on. 36th Memorial: How IBB executed VATSA. Wife narrates our last moments. Okay, let's just find the spot. Okay, there it is. Hold on. Okay, just scroll, and here it is. Saturday, 5th March 2022 was the 36th year that Major General MAMMAN Jiwa Vatsa and 11 others were executed after a phantom coup trial by the regime of his bosom friend, General Ibrahim Babangida. Born on the 3rd of December 1940, Vatsa would have been preparing to mark his 82nd birthday later this year. When she was alive, his wife, Safiya, narrated his last moments in the following story. So this is the story now. How IBB murdered Mamman Vatsa. Sava Farm, a nondescript piece of property situated in the Malali area of Kaduna City, does not reveal the importance of its occupant. It is owned by Hajia Safiya, widow of General Mamman Vatsa, executed over a controversial coup by the regime of General Ibrahim Babangida in 1986. With its brown gate, a half brick and half metal perimeter fence that looks as if it would collapse anytime with the heavy rain, and the rusty signboard defaced by 4 posters of Isha Balat, who is campaigning to be governor of Kaduna State. The farm stands as a relic in sharp contrast to the more prosperous-looking Federal Government College and the Kaduna State Water Board nearby. A bushy farm looks like an abandoned American ranch after a typical Red Indian invasion. An aide who doubles as the gatekeeper opens the gate. As the reporter's feet shuffled on the cobblestone that had seen better days, a quick survey of the premises showed a once buoyant animal husbandry business. Another gate on the left led to where Safiya lives. With a quick detour, the visitors were ushered into the front of the main bungalow. The circular forecourt is a habitat of flowers crying to be pruned. Peeping out of the circle was a white Mercedes 190 that stood as if driven by some invisible hand from outer space. It was ready to engage the reverse gear, receding further into the dense flowers away from intruders. A rickety Peugeot pickup van and an abandoned white farm truck complete the picture of neglect. Safia's bungalow is a testament to a woman who, when she was happy, was in love with nature. Her suspended empty bird cages, creeping flowers, pot of cacti and aloe vera stands as proof. A long white hose meandered on the floor, a mark of a half-hearted attempt at gardening. Like her property, Hajia Safia Vatsa is a lonely historical figure, abandoned in her woes and penury by successive governments after the IBB execution of her husband over a questionable coup. During a visit to her Sava farm by three journalists from the news, the woman caught the picture of Miss Havisham in Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, who, after being disappointed by her suitor, refuses to see the sun, fails to change her wedding gown, and leaves her watch permanently at 20 minutes to 9. Unlike Miss Havisham, however, Safia's separation from her husband came from the machinations of a third party, IBB. Since then, life has been horrible for her family. Daily, Safia sits by two high-definition photographs of her husband, one in mufti and the other one in military gear. When this magazine visited her, she wore a brown wrapper, a deep brown headgear with an Ankara top embossed with brown irregular designs. She sat behind a small center table set with assorted drinks, beverages, and local herbal solutions. In front of her was a shelf with a rectangular mirror on which an old television set was placed. Another symbol of her state of mind and the neglect she suffers was an abandoned grey aquarium tilting against the wall under the portrait of a medieval soldier riding a chariot shooting an arrow. Under another congested table in front of her was a green book, Makers of Modern Africa, a reading lamp, about four chandeliers, and a dining table required dusting just as her life requires rehabilitation. An extension of her melancholy was that, contrary to expectation, she declined an interview since it would bring back a deluge of old but painful memories. Safia's journey into the abyss of poverty began on the 23rd of March 1985. The family had just concluded plans to travel to Calabar because usually they spent the Yuletide in the Cross River State capital. Safia is Efik, and the Eid al-Fitri in Mina, the Niger State, and the Eid al-Kabir in Kaduna. After the necessary packing for the trip, the family waited for the return of General VATSA from the Armed Forces Ruling Council meeting he had attended. He returned home late, so the trip was postponed till the following day. At about midnight, whilst Safia was watching a movie in her bedroom, her husband, who was working in his study, rushed in to tell her that IBB had sent for him. The wife protested that it was too late in the night and that Vatsa should phone his boss to shift the meeting to the following morning. As this debate was ongoing, Lieutenant Colonel UK Bello led a team of soldiers to Vatsa's home at Romans Street, Ikoyi, Lagos. The soldiers, who came with armored vehicles and military vans, surrounded the house. Vatsa told his wife, who was upstairs, to peep through the window. Unable to contain her fear, she rushed downstairs and insisted that if the soldiers would take away her husband, then she had to follow them. Safia insisted on driving VATSA in her own Peugeot 404. At this point, VATSA directed that the children be woken up, and he kissed them one after the other. Haruna, the first son, who was in the military training school Zaria, followed them downstairs, weeping, whilst UK Bello drove in the fore of the convoy. Safia and Vatsa were chauffeur-driven in their own car in what later turned out to be a merry-go-round about Lagos till about 2 a.m. when they stopped at 7 Cameroon Road, Ikoyi. Vatsa was ordered out of the car. As he made it to enter the building, Safia ran after him, but she was rudely pulled back by the soldiers. The general turned and gave his wife a bear hug and embrace. That was their last. He urged the wife to take care of their children. Safia returned home dejected. To her shock, the military authorities had withdrawn the official domestic staff. At 5 a.m., she prepared breakfast of fried yam and pawpaw and drove to her husband's detention center, but was told she could not bring any food. Another surprise awaited Vatsa's wife. A soldier came in and said, "Madam, Oga's wife, Mrs. Miriam Babangida, said I should bring General Vatsa's telephone handset to her." Fatima, Vatsa's daughter, clung to the gadget. A struggle ensued between the 15-year-old girl and the soldiers, whose muscle bulged like the bicep of a something or the other statue. Sophia asked her daughter to let go of the probably bugged set. Worse still, some gruff, fierce-looking soldiers, led by Vatsa's former aide-de-camp, Captain Maku, an intelligence officer of Idoma extraction, had led other soldiers in laying siege to the family's house. "Madam, no visitors, no phone calls, no going out." Maku snapped as he reclined into a settee in the living room. An improvised toothpick and sorry, let me take that paragraph again. Was still some gruff, fierce-looking soldiers led by Vatsa's former aide-de-camp, Captain Maku, an intelligence officer of Idoma extraction, had led other soldiers in laying siege to the family's house. "Madam, no visitors, no phone calls, no going out." Maku snapped as he reclined on a settee in the living room, an improvised toothpick peeping out of the corner of his mouth. When Safia protested that the family needed to buy foodstuff, Maku, whose friendly disposition when he was Vatsa's Batman had changed, commanded that the woman and her children must manage. After 3 days of captivity, Safia could not endure it any longer. She told Maku, "Look, I am going to the market. If you refuse me, it means between you and me, somebody will die. I will show you that I am a soldier's wife." She took her car and without bothering about the soldiers, who cocked their gun menacingly at her, rammed into the gate, which gave way as the soldiers scattered capriciously in different directions. She got to Falamo, bought bread and eggs, and decided to see one of her husband's friends, General Gado Nasco. Before the visit to Nasco, however, Safia had driven home, and since her daughter was coincidentally at the gate, had dropped the food and driven to Nasco. Safia's mission was to ask Nasco to fix a meeting between her and IBB to find a way to settle the matter. Although soldiers at Nasco's house gave her the cold shoulder, her persistence worked. Nasco, who said he was aware of the problem and would try to arrange the meeting, asked Sophia to see him in the evening. Her hope soared. The reason was the special relationship between her family and IBB. When we got married, Sophia was reported as saying, I thought IBB and my husband were of the same family. The two wore the same size of dress and pair of shoes. IBB would drop his dirty wares in our house and put on my husband's. When IBB traveled out to further military training, my husband took care of Mariam and her children. General VATSA, apart from mounting the horse when IBB married Mariam, bought their first set of furniture from Leventis on hire purchase. IBB was also my husband's best man during our wedding. Whenever Miriam's Mercedes broke down, she used to drive my Peugeot 404. We were close. All these, to Babangida, did not count in the field of real politics. Nasco told Safia later in the day that the military president was not ready to see her. Another disappointment awaited Safia when she returned to her Riemann Street residence Ikoyi. A soldier from Buni camp was waiting for her with an order that the family should vacate the house. Another military officer said the car should be taken to army headquarters for security check, after which they broke into the car's glove compartment and confiscated Vatsa's manuscript. In frustration, Safia hired a trailer and moved the family belongings to Kaduna. She and Fatima, however, returned and stayed at Nwakana Okoro, her brother-in-law's house at Queen's Drive, Ikoyi. When the military authorities bugged Okoro's telephone, the lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, became jittery. All attempts by Safia to see her husband was frustrated by the military authorities. It was only Fatima's trick that worked a bit. Posing as a lawyer, she would follow other counsels into Vatsa's detention center and trial venue. Vatsa, however, sent Safia a note from Kirikiri saying, do not beg Babangida, he is after my life. Take care of the children. I know it is not easy, but God will help you. When he was executed, Vatsa requested that his wristwatch and let me take that again. When he was executed, Vatsa requested that his wristwatch and wedding ring be given to Safia, but by the time they brought the watch and the wedding ring wasn't my wedding ring, so I rejected it. Till today, they have not returned the ring. Till today, they have not returned the ring to me. Safia was quoted as saying by a family source. Safia was therefore left in the cold without any wealth to fall back on. Vatsa had only one. Vatsa had only one plot of land in Abuja, but it was taken over by the late despot General Sani Abacha. At a point, Safia approached General Jeremiah Oseni, one-time Federal Capital Territory FCT minister, in a bid to reclaim the land. Oseni called for the file and told Vatsa's wife to pay for the land rent. She, however, complained to Oseni. When my husband was a minister in FCT, he refused to allocate land to me, his wife. He said it would be immoral for him to give me land. He said his successors would give me. Husseini looked the other way whilst Safia and her family were deprived of the land. Not all of Vatsa's friends abandoned the family, however. One of his friends came to our aid. Safia once said, every other person that was dining and whining with my husband immediately switched over to IBB. Even my children today are not identified with. To keep body and soul and family together, Safia, of Efik descent, would travel to Calabar in Cross River State and bring food from her people to take care of her children in Kaduna, where she has vowed to remain. Apart from buying and selling, Safia used to engage in poultry and cattle rearing. She injected life into her server farm, which she set up in 1971 after the Civil War, but robbers ruined the business, a situation that led to the lack of care for the premises, part of which by the time correspondents visited was overgrown by weed. Safia, however, has brought up Safia has sorry, let me just take a gulp of water. So not however, but therefore. Safia therefore has brought up her children on a shoestring budget. Haruna, whom VATSA asked to be withdrawn from the Nigerian military training Zaria because of the way the army treated him, is now married with two children. Fatima, who is studying law in London with her husband, whilst Jibril, who studied pardon me, let me take that paragraph again. Safia therefore brought up her children on a shoestring budget. Haruna, whom VATSA asked to be withdrawn from the Nigerian military training school Zaria because of the way the army treated him, is now married with two children. Fatima, who is studying medicine, is in London with her husband, whilst Jubril, who studied law, is in Mina, Niger State. Aisha is a US-based pilot. Safia believes that IBB himself planned the coup. He wrote the script, got an officer to execute it. The officer in question was close to Mama Madaki, a former military administrator of Plateau State. Apart from Major General Charles Indilmu, who once made a statement that he regretted killing Vatsa, correspondents gathered that the interview with General Domkat Bali, granted correspondents in 2006, raised Safia's hope that justice would finally be done. She once lamented to her husband's family, "It is painful that my husband was executed as a coup plotter, even when he was not. And till this moment, we don't know where he was buried." That General Domkat Bali interview, General Domkat Bali interview, published in the news magazine, is one of the good things that God has done for us in the Vatsa family. Before, some people did not believe that Vatsa was not a coup plotter, but Bali's confession explained it all. They should release the corpse of my husband to me so that he can be given a befitting burial. That is my prayer. It was for this reason that Safia wrote a letter dated the 15th of June 2006 to President Olusegun Obasanjo, where she stated, "Although there was no iota of evidence linking my husband with the phantom coup, he was convicted and sentenced to death by the Special Military Tribunal, which purportedly tried him and other coup suspects. My husband's appeal to the Armed Forces Ruling Council against his illegal conviction was yet to be considered when the head of state, General Babangida, had him secretly executed along with other coup convicts." She claimed in the letter that Bali confirmed her husband's innocence in the This News interview when he said, "I regret that up till now, I am not sure whether Vatsa ought to have been killed because whatever evidence they amassed against him was weak. My only regret is that I could not say, don't do it. I am not sure I am not so sure whether we were right to have killed VATSA. Safia therefore requested that Obasanjo administration prosecute Babangida for the murder of my husband, General VATSA. Born on the 3rd of December 1940, Major General MAMMAN VATSA attended the government secondary school Bida, Niger State. He enlisted in the Nigerian Army on the 10th of December 1962 and was trained at the Nigerian Military Training College Kaduna and the Indian Military Academy. VATSA was in charge of the 21st Battalion during the Nigerian Civil War, after which he became an instructor at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna. Apart from his position as a principal staff officer at the Army headquarters, he commanded the 30th Infantry Brigade Ogoja until July 1975. As the commander of the Brigade of Guards, a post he held until 1979, VATSA oversaw the movement of its headquarters from Dodan Barracks to Kofo Abayomi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. One proof of his loyalty to his commander-in-chief was when, as Commander Brigade of Guards, Calabar, he was the first to go on air to kick against the 13th February 1976 coup led by Lieutenant Colonel Bukar Dinka. During the trial of suspects involved in that coup, he was the tribunal secretary. Thereafter, he was appointed the Commander Brigade of Guards under General Olusegun Obasanjo. Mrs. Vatsa once revealed, "My husband drove General Obasanjo to his Ota farm after he handed over power to the civilians in 1979. As Vatsa was commandant of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry in 1979. He, alongside Colonel B.T. Young, developed the Special Warfare Wing and established the doctrinal basis for the establishment of the 82nd Composite Division of the Nigerian Army in Enugu. In fact, it was VATSA who suggested that the division be called the 82nd Division after the 82nd West African Division, Burma. As an accomplished poet and writer, VATSA was able to publish 8 poetry collections for adults and 11 for younger people. Some of his book titles are Back Again at Watergate, 1982, Reach for the Skies, 1984, and Verses for Nigerian State Capitals, 1973. His pidgin poetry collection is Tori Forgetting Bowleg. So Tori Forgetting Bowleg, and this was published in 1981. His pictorial books are Bikin Suna and Stinger the Scorpion. Bikin Suna and Stinger the Scorpion. His literary interests transcended merely reeling out volumes of verses. He organized writing workshops for soldiers and their families, assisted children's literature associations with funds, as well as allocated a piece of land in Abuja for a writer's village for the Association of Nigerian Authors. Vatsa was so preoccupied with creativity that he always carried jotters to the toilet, dining table, and the bedroom. There were books strewn around in the family's apartment, so much so that, as correspondents gathered, Safia once threatened to throw these books out. Vatsa's journey to the great beyond started on the 17th of December 1985 when the military authorities arrested over 100 officers from the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. Vatsa was picked up 7 days later. They were, for 2 weeks, investigated by Brigadier General Sani Sami, led preliminary special investigation panel. After these, 17 of them were dragged before a special military tribunal set up by Bali at the defense minister at the Brigade of Guards headquarters, Lagos. The accused officers were Lieutenant Colonel Musa Biti Young, Christian A. Ochi, Michael A. Oyoshi, M. Effiong, Majors D.I. Bamidele, D.E. West, J.O. Onyeke, and Tobias Akwashiki. Others were Captain Sese, Lieutenant Dakpa, Commodore Igwiji, Wing Commander Ekele, and so on and so forth. The tribunal, chaired by Major General Undiomu, tried the officers under the treason and other offences charges 1986. Other members of the tribunal were Brigadier Yerima Kure, Commander Murtala Nyako, Rufus something or the other, etc., etc. Okay, so I think I'll round that off there. It goes on and on, so I'll post the link because if I continue reading it, that's still another half an hour of reading out all this stuff. So that was the life and times of MAMMAN VATSA. So Adanle Koko, this guy was just killed for nothing, MAMMAN VATSA. Do you remember that space? And the wife, 36 years on, she still continues to fight for justice. Left in penury, living in shrubs, completely overgrown, just dejected, depressed, and abandoned, and poor.
It's sad to.
It's a tragedy.
Tragedies to listen to those that story. You know, one thing that I listened to that hit me bad was that that man, while he was in charge of Abuja, he did not allocate land to his family or friends. He only had one plot of land in Abuja. I think it was the first minister of
yes, which was subsequently stolen by Abata.
Only one plot of land. So that indicates right there that he is not a corrupt officer. He would have allocated thousands of land to himself if he was corrupt. But you see, people that really serve that country well, the country does not honor them, and the country, you know, treat them so bad. And Babangida, what Babangida did then, it wasn't clear to everybody. They said it was cool. Some people said it was trying to get rid of some people that he knew they're going to be a stumbling block for him to transition himself into civilian president. You know, there are a lot of things that happened then that was not really clear to everybody, you know. And during that time, we had some officer in plane, some, you know, brilliant officers, young officers, and colonels.
Yes, that plane was brought down, wasn't it?
Brought down, and you know, all sort of things that happened. All this, you know, Babangida just have
you know, he gave Wole Soyinka assurances that he wasn't going to kill this guy, and the very next day he killed him. You know, because Wole Soyinka, a writer, this guy a writer, so he had you know.
Yes, and and listening to the way they grew up together, they grew up in the same state. They were both from Mina. They went to the same elementary school, secondary school, I guess. With
the wife said Babangida would turn up at their house, take off his dirty clothes and give it to her to wash, and
So
he
what?
will go into their room, wear her husband's clothes, and he will just go about enjoying his
Yeah.
life.
Enjoy his life. You see?
Imagine that. That's the level. You go, I come to your house because my clothes is dirty. I just chuck it and say, Madam, please help me wash it.
Let me watch it.
Grab me a Janle Coco
Uh,
suit there,
uh,
and I just disappear because
mm.
it's not. I didn't even think. You don't even think. That's the level.
Yes, he
You
said they
know,
wear
that's
the same size of
yeah, yeah.
trouser, the same size of shoe. Said they are like twins.
Best man at each other's wedding.
I mean, how can you? Why can't you just, for God's sake, spared him? What have we
That guy
done?
never plotted any coup. It's personal and it's deep.
Yes, it's personal. And General Dom Kabali, that one confirmed it in an interview some years back that they didn't see a strong evidence to prove that he was strongly involved in the coup. So, but Babangida, that man did a lot of bad thing in that country, and he killed a lot of people. And
He did, though. He killed a lot of. How that guy is still getting away, and people still. I don't know what. Maybe I want to know who is Babalawo is. So, and he will just smile, and people will melt. That guy is a hardened. He destroyed that country now. If you want to look at the destruction of that country, it was Babangida now.
He's the one. He's the one that that destroyed the country completely. He institutionalized corruption. He's the one that organized a corrupt political process that took us to where we are today. And he is still deeply involved in Nigerian politics, and that is why you see these criminals we see in both parties still going to him to get his blessing every time they want to contest. They shouldn't be going to that man, but you see, there is one of the founders of PDP, and all the politicians we see that are corrupt, and they use his own style too, to rule in their various positions. It was Babangida style of governance or style of manipulating people. That style, that is what these politicians are using. That's why they still go to him to honor him. It's just bad. I mean, what he did to VATSA, everybody was shocked. People were thinking that he's going to spare him. We just came back home in the evening, and they just announced that coup plotters, Mama VATSA had been killed some few hours ago. Everybody was shocked.
And the wife still don't know where the body is buried till today.
Can you see how inhuman these people are?
Because it wasn't only that guy. Thank God that she was able to, because it looks as though she rescued all the children, lawyers, pilots, doctors, so at least we are thankful for that,
Yeah. So it's what they do. I think they might have been buried in a kind of shallow grave. They put all of their body together and just
they always acid those bodies.
Yes, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I don't know the way Babangida will be feeling now.
Do you think he cares? Do you think he cares?
If he is going through his past photograph and is looking at his wedding photograph and he sees VATSA, how would he feel? What is that feeling that we, spark him looking at that guy as his best man in this, on this Wednesday? How would he feel?
In Yoruba land, Ajanle Koko, we say Oloma Jeka Rogun Enton Showa Tao Show or Taomo, something along those lines. Yeah. Somebody that has intentions towards you, but you're not even aware that you've offended them.
Ben.
It is my imagination that this guy, he has been carrying a grudge against they are doing body, but his wasn't his body. He probably hated him since childhood, because they are saying Buhari Babangida comes from penury, and VATSA comes somewhat from affluence. So I don't know, but I come on, man. I don't think, because VATSA is a writer and a
He's a writer
poet,
and a poet.
so I don't really see that is somebody that aspires to coup anybody. And even the people that sat in the panel said the evidence was so weak that they don't know why they were asked to kill him. So it's
Just
personal now.
Ọlọ́run gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó ń ṣe ẹni tá a ṣọ́.
That's the one. It's a that Babangida, man. Animal. He destroyed that country,
Really?
That country could have still been rescued if not for Babangida.
Yeah.
He came in, he looted a lot, he killed a lot, he corrupted the whole system, and he just walked away.
Do you know how many people that were killed during the June 12th struggle? Thousands of people were killed across the country.
Because of people like Buhari, you almost wish there was a heaven and a hell along what we understand it to mean. That guy should burn in hell in perpetuity.
It's just, I mean, I don't. Oh God! And look at the wife. That one. The wife
the life is gone now, and then the farm she wants to use to sustain herself, they rob her. She goes to Jeremiah Iseni, who was the FCT minister, instead of him to sign even 1 acre of land to her in Abuja to say, madam, no, not you now. He told her to be going and paying rent, and he just ignored. As soon as she got out of the office, she just got rid.
It's just unimaginable. Even when he requested to see Babangida.
No, he was never going to see her. Now, when he knows he's going to kill the husband, and
that's why he requested to see him. I mean, this is the man that this woman was washing her clothes, feeding me. I mean, Babangida is not human being.
The wife's car will break down, and she will just quickly come and grab that. Look, you are not going out now. Give me the car. Let the mechanic. Imagine that level.
I mean, it's a wicked man.
And they kicked them out of the house. They just everything, no pension, nothing. No gratuity. Just get out of here. And then, oh God, man.
I mean, that man is a real devil, and we'll see what's going to happen to him. He doesn't have no long time anymore. He will pack and go very soon too. But see, he's suffering it too now. He's on the wheelchair now. He cannot walk around. He can't do anything. So he's going to leave. He will suffer pains. He will go through pains before he finally, pass away. But he did a lot of havoc. He killed a lot of people. A lot of students were killed during his time. A lot of officers were killed during the June 12th struggle. A lot of people were killed. I mean, how can such man still live it? And politicians still go to him to worship him. And that's why I said these people, politicians we have around in these two parties, they are not the one for us. We cannot continue to vote for these people. They are not there for us. The two political parties are military organized party. It's the military that have those two parties. They are owned by the military. So, we thank God that God bless that woman to raise those children well. Those children that the man left behind, every one of them are successful in their various careers, and she's still alive. She's in good health. The family are, nothing bad has happened to them. So she just continue to, pray for her and her family. It's unfortunate.
All right. So that is Babangida. We could do. In fact, if we go to the Abiola home, is it not the same story?
It's the same story now.
This guy ruined lives all the
It
way
is the
through.
same story. It's the
Go to
same
Abiola,
story.
they put the
Look
rats,
at Abiola.
they kill her off, you know.
Yeah, it's the
Huh?
same story.
You know,
And Abacha, it's the
they kill
same
him off.
story.
Everybody, he just killed and killed. You
What?
know,
For what? Just for power. It's
for
just
money
only for
and power
power.
now. Yeah,
Just for power. You just want to remain on top. Number one citizen. And continue to control. Power and control. That's it. It's just, I don't know, man.
It's unbelievable. But then he will go down in history, not on the side of good, but on the side of bad. So what price? So he came, he took by force, he stole a lot of money, but then he'll go down because what he wants, I think, is to be seen as a hero. I think he wants to be seen as a hero, but he will never be seen as a hero. He institutionalized corruption, he truncated democracy, and he killed a lot of people. So that is how it will go down. You know, that it will go down along the Abacha line rather than along the Obasanjo line. You know?
Yes, it will never be regarded as an hero in that country. The history book will not forgive this man for all he did. I mean, a lot of things are documented. There are a lot
it's
of
just that they don't write memoirs. There's so much secrets to be unraveled within that. Like, people don't write memoirs. People should write memoirs and keep it with their children to say, even if they're, when I'm gone, publish this. You know, they should be. There's a lot we should know in that country, like that. All this general something or the other. Just oh God. Anyway, we could go on and on about that space, but that Babangida, Konukuri. Let's go back to APC. Niger Governor Bello takes over from Mayor Malabuni as APC chairman. We were just joking yesterday that Buhari has left town. We hope that Oshibajo doesn't burn down the house. But it looks as though the house is burning itself. What are you then making of this move? Niger State Governor Sani Bello, now the new temporary. Yeah, but they're having convention on the 26th, though. Is this a party imploding before our very own eyes, Ajale Koko?
What is the reason for that?
He doesn't give a reason, but there's you can let me play you this. You probably saw it, but let me just
Chacha Chiama. Brand new Chama.
So that was Sani Bello going to the secretariat to take charge and to kick Mayor Malabuni out. So I don't know. I think in the course of the day we'll get more and more, but it looks as though it's fait accompli. The governor's move to replace him, but then the convention on the 26th. So what? I'm confused.
Well, since we don't know the reason why they are changing the baton of leadership there, one thing that I can deduce right there is that the party is in crisis.
Well, clearly. And why wait till they waited till Buhari was away, and then they moved quickly.
The party is in crisis.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some interest group moving against some other interest group in that party. As we can guess, maybe for the presidential for the presidential aspiration of some of their people that are in play. So that is what we can conclude that yes, some interest group are moving against some other interest group. And it's just bad that when you have a party that cannot manage their crisis, should that be the party that people should vote in power?
Do you think we'll be seeing open fighting within the next at least 4 weeks. Because if they hold, even do you think the convention can still hold on the 26th? The 26th is what, 19 days away? And this guy has just come in now as the new interim chairman. So can they still hold that convention on the 26th one? Will it be moved? Will people accept it be moved? Will we see, will this party implode? But what are we March? What comes after January, February, March? Will this party actually last till the end of April, this APC, the way it's going?
Well, if the crisis get worsened, well, that means the party will implode. But what is happening is just telling us that these people are not, that party is not party for the interest of the people, but the interest of some powers within that party. And
it's a special purpose vehicle, as they say, a special purpose vehicle.
Yeah.
I see an uncoupling of that party. You know, parts moved together to form a whole. I see that it's going to start to uncouple, because if they don't have that convention on the 26th, then heads will roll. But they cannot have it on the 26th if they have a new chairman. You know, so because, you know.
Yeah, because you know, they said they were gonna hold the convention in February, and then they shifted it to March. If they have to cancel it, if they cancel it again and give another date, that will tell us that something bad is about to happen in that party. Well, maybe later in the day, they will come out clearer on the reason why they are changing the baton of leadership. And I don't know the reason why that chairmanship have to go from one governor to the other. What is it that this guy want to do that is so special that MAMMAN Buni cannot do?
Yes, it's an agenda, isn't it? It's an agenda.
There's an agenda
so
playing out here.
It's either MAMMAN Buni is playing the agenda of the cabal, and the party are trying to rescue the party from him and the cabal, or this move is a coup that they are trying to strike while Buhari is away. There's denials from the secretary of the committee that Buni has been stepped down, but then we saw the video clip and all the reports of Sani Bello moving in. So you know, they're not all singing from the same hymn sheet. So that already tells you that there's a divide. But what is that divide? Who is in play? Out of the committees, there's 12 members. I think 9 of them were met, according to the report, by Sani Bello. But the secretary was there, John James. His last name is too convoluted for me to attempt. You know, so he's the one that seems to be putting up the resistance. So they're saying Buhari sacked him and then went away, but then he's saying that he's not been sacked, and it's just convoluted. It's typical APC, isn't it? It's just madness. Remember in Lagos State when they were holding 3-4 convention, Ambode Ham, it's just that's not a party. That is not a know.
No, it's a party that no common purpose, no common interest of the people. They just party of some big name in politics coming together to just do work together to grab power and loot. And it's unfortunate that they cannot organize themselves. And at a party level, how will they be able to organize a nation when they get to power? And that is what we have. That is the experience we have had through 7 years in governance. Poor governance, and the complication of the problems that they came in to solve, they got it more complicated, and it looked like they are a problem that cannot be solved. They complicated it. They add more to it, and we just have to see this APC as no party for the interest of the people. That's the way I see it. One man.
Yes, I agree with you, Adanle Koko. I do not see it lasting beyond this Buhari administration. They're just too divergent. The Tinubu, what's the Tinubu action group or something? Their politics is different from the CPC, and they are not even together in any politicking. The Eastern politics is different, so their vested interest just holding together because they hold power at the moment. So it is not going to last. It cannot. How can it last? Look at it now. They'll just revert back to type. But Ovie, what are you making of it? This Buni wants now no more, or is it still there? Confusion galore, APC as usual. Ovie.
On our politics.
On our politics.
We were talking about it yesterday, that this one that Buhari jet out to London and he said put Oshibajo in charge. And I was saying I set up. Say his biggest headache is going to be the party. The party, because I don't know why if he's before you show the video, I was actually doubting if it's real news or fake news, because it was only this day and Arise that was talking about it. But when you now show this video, I was like, oh, okay. That's the man from Niger himself, right? The new man to take over.
Yeah, Sani Bello.
Yeah, so that means it's on. So if
whether it succeeds or it doesn't succeed, we've seen the split and the divide. We've seen it. Yes. It's in play now. So there's no, there's you can't sweep there because there's video. So and they're calling him new chairman. He's at the secretariat, and he took guns. He took guns. My God!
I was kind of like, okay, this is real. But now, if that is the case, what is the game plan here? Is this a way to just keep dragging themselves up and down to court, not to hold a convention come 26?
If this guy succeeds in holding on to that chairmanship, this Sani Bello, then it is unlikely that they will have that convention on the 26th, because that is in 19 days' time.
Yes.
But then they are saying the reason why they are kicking out Buni is because he's not going to hold it on the 26th. So is this new guy now going to hold it? He's the God, man. We were saying yesterday that we don't know until we actually. You don't until you see it. You don't know. It's a mess.
It's enough time. So if that's the game, then I give it to them.
No, but do you really give it to them? It's a mess now. It doesn't look tidy. It doesn't look as. This is not what we want to see. This looks like a desperate grasp for power, and we saw that with Babangida and with Buhari, and we saw how that played out. This is not a good look. It doesn't fill you with confidence. It doesn't. Ajanle Koko, is this the look? Is this?
They are just trying to make sure the whole thing is not predictable, and they are trying to withhold the boys away from the men as the race continue to intrigue. People wave, now last now people are going to move the last to the end. Because
you see, there's going to be winners and losers in this game,
yes.
Which then means they are going to be all losers all the way through. Because all the names that are in play, they are big names, and they are fighting hard. And whoever loses is not then going to. I don't think these people are after money anymore. They want the real pot so that they can control. They are all billionaires now, so they now want the whole thing. So anybody that loses out is not going to play along. It's going to be messy. It's going to be war.
So because it's not that PDP is all peaceful. Then they go to start their own.
They are watching. They are watching. Depending on how this war
PDP. No, PDP. You have to give it to PDP. PDP
No,
is
not
a
yet.
party.
Not yet. Ajale Koko. Not yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
oh,
The whole wahala go soon start. Don't worry.
no, hold on, Ovie. PDP
Okay.
was able to organize, do their own convention in a very
Okay. Well,
peaceful.
yes. Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That we have
Oh,
to
you
give
give
it
it
to
to them on
PDP.
that. Yes.
Yes, they were able to organize their convention peacefully. They took care of their various interest groups in the party, and they did it well. So, but for these people, just to organize, this is it's not presidential primary yell. They are not there yet. It's just to organize convention. Convention to elect officers of the party at the national level, and and that is a big problem.
Yeah, they have more to
That's a
lose.
big problem. So it shouldn't be like that, particularly for party that is in power. That they are not giving a very good signal of what they represent. They are giving a very bad signal that they are unfit to organize their party well. And that should tell us that they cannot organize the nation well when they come to power or when they retain power. That is the implication of it, of what is playing out. They should be able, at the toppest level of the party. I mean, we are talking about when you have a big party like that, there should be some people at the top level that can come together quickly at a particular time. They feel there's crisis is brewing. They should come quickly and stop it and not let it get out of hand. But this is getting out of hand. It's gradually getting out of hand, and it shows that they are incapable to organize party, and they cannot organize a nation well. They can't govern a nation well. That is the implication. But a lot of Nigeria cannot really read along the line and come out with a logical conclusion that, why should I be part of people that cannot organize party? Why should I vote for them? So that's the way I see it, and I don't know the way you see it, Movier.
I see where you are coming from, but they are all wishy-washy because this is power we are talking about here. And there's a lot of interest around the corridors of power. And for the fact that the incumbent is not coming back, make the team more interesting, more dangerous. I mean, everybody is going all out. And it's not just started way back with all these agitations and all that. It's not even, we are still, I mean, it's still
if they try to reverse the decision of power transiting to the south, that'll be a struggle. That'll be a struggle for them.
That's what you are seeing playing out.
No, that's not. No. Don't keep saying something categorical. You say that is what you think. Don't.
You are even trying to
don't try and rubbish it.
That's not even where I'm going with my point. You are just
go on.
I'm trying to actually, respond to Ajale Koko direct.
All right, go on. Sorry.
Saying that they can. At this point, that's what you see. I mean, you did America here. The last election, the Democrats during their own primaries, IEB. When at the dime minute, Bloomberg is coming out with almost $500,000 to make sure some people, which is Bernie Sanders, didn't get it, does not get the ticket, and it worked out. So towards the dime minute, so that's what you are seeing now. Power interest. Those are things. I mean, we're surprised that APC lasts up to this point. I'm not going to lie, because now 3 heavyweights come together. Even though now the PDP don't come over their side, but within the CPC and the Tinubu-led group, those are pretty much like equal power in terms of the kind of men where they at that level. So that's what you see playing out. Everybody wants to make sure I jack the party before they go. So just like you likely said, one man, it is a plot not to hold convention on the 26th. Because at this point, it doesn't make sense. If you are to say
no, you can't say that. It's not. You don't know that. You have to you have to prefix what you're saying with premise. You cannot say
No,
categorically
I'm not
anything.
just here to be wrong, so I will take a stand. Let me be wrong.
No,
I
no,
hate
no,
being at the
no. They're
middle.
not taking a stance now. You can't say, are you in the party? You're not in the party now. You're speculating.
I did not in the party, one man.
Okay. Let me
Okay.
let me quickly acknowledge Alexander super chat, which is super chatted to the conversation that was going on earlier. And anytime that Alexander hears the name Babangida, his stomach just he wants to throw up, and so Alexander super chats to say Babangida's name makes my stomach churn. I loathe that man with a passion. Disgusting evil man destroyed the richest black country in the world. So he destroyed it to make himself the richest black man in the world. So that is the price that we have paid for his wealth. But thank you for the super chat, Alexander. So yeah, Ovie, you were saying.
On that, according to what these days are saying, Malami and two other people actually went to complain to Baba before he left that is a bad idea.
That what is a bad idea?
To remove Gumi without going through their own party constitution, which we have to give him 7 days, and that decision had to come from the neck of the party.
No, all that one is rubbish. Now, when have they ever followed rules? They've removed him now. But are they going to,
So what I'm trying to understand here is that who is Buhari? Which interest is he acting on? Is it the governors who some of them are saying no to Buni to? Or
I think if sufficient enough of the governors, what I think is that the governors feel that pecuniary shadowy interests are too influential within that party. They feel that the cabal, they hold too much of a hold on that party, and they are not elected. They've never had any mandate, and the governors that are mandated by people, they seem to have a secondary role. So I think because you can hear that in the undertones of what El Rufai was saying when he announced that this is the formula they've come up with. They said they had robust conversations, and all of the things that we've been hearing, how they're trying to permutate power. They are seeing this guy as a sticking point, as an obstacle in the way, and they're thinking that he's been orchestrated. They are not going to lose the power they are not going to lose the party to the cabal, because if the cabals gets the party, they get the presidency. But the governors want the presidency for their own decision. Yeah. No, but maybe not one of them, but they get the decision on. Yeah. So it's who controls the party is what we're saying now, the cabals or the governors.
One man, you see, I don't know who are the cabals, so other than the governors.
Well, Abubakar Malami is one of the cabals. King Gibe is a cabal.
Yeah.
The new what's it called? The man from Kwara, Ibrahim. What is his name again? The ambassador that replaced Abakari. Gambari. He's a cabal.
Yeah,
but the real orchestration is Abubakar Malami.
Okay, so that's where my entry come in. One man. So why is it okay? Why is it that Buhari doesn't want to listen to them on this particular issue?
Because Buhari is weighing the balance that whose interest is better served. Because the governors, he has to serve their interest. So I don't think. Anyway, what do you think? Because we are.
I'm just. That's what I said. See, that area is not clear to me. If I don't know if what they are saying, if it's right that Buhari, they actually advised Buhari not to take that. And that's why I said, okay, it's all plot not to hold the convention, because if they say, and their reason was, if you go this route, somebody is going to wake up one day and sue the process that you didn't go through the constitutional, and that will not.
No, I don't think suing. I don't think they care about suing. To be honest with you.
No, the suing. That mean court will not be adjourning the case until their aim. I mean, maybe quote unquote now, not to hold the convention will prevail. That's I think that's what I mean. That's the narrative they are painting from Arise group. So, but I don't know why Buhari would not listen to his main lieutenant. He trusts more than the governor. So it's not clear to me. But I pity the man in charge now. What is his name? Yemi Oshibanjo. Are they going to shut him out and say, "Hey,
no, Yemi Oshibanjo is the...
or he's going to roast the occasion and say, "Come, I'm in charge now." So I think that's at this point. It sucks to be him. I don't want to be in the show at this point, but it's a setup.
You see what is playing out here, one man, is that like you said, the cabal versus the governors. The origin of this problem started when Buhari took out Oshiomhole. That was when the problem started, and installed this what do you call Buni and his group, giving them 6-month mandate, to organize a national convention, and 6 months now going to about 1.5 years. Buni and most of those that form the temporary leaders of the party at the national level are CPC men. So a situation.
I think I will blame Tinubu and his group for losing that spot.
Hold on.
Let me finish. Without doing their homework well.
Let me finish this.
Okay.
When Buhari took them out and then installed these people as the leader of the party, as the national leadership of the party, he played out Tinubu's hand from the national leadership of the party. And he and his CPC guys have been controlling, have been manipulating everything since then.
Sure.
But now, what is playing out here is the Tinubu presidential interests and that of maybe unknown from CPC is what is causing this wahala that we are seeing now. The Tinubu people, they want to have their way into the national leadership of the party, and which is the normal way to do. You cannot say you want to go, you want to assume the presidency and you don't have the national leadership of the party. You must have it as well. And the Buhari's CPC that are controlling the national leadership of the party now doesn't want, they are playing game. So you see the two strongest group in the party, the Tinubu and the Buhari too, they are the ones that are clashing now just for power.
Is it just for power?
Yeah, just for power. Both of them are clashing. Both of them. Yeah, for power, and one have to give in for the other, or they work together as partnership.
I just hope it doesn't come bloody at that level.
It's going to get messy, and it's going to get messy very quickly. Very quickly, it'll get very messy.
So it's the power, it's the Tinubu bloc and Buhari bloc that are causing this confusion. If they fail to work in partnership, then one will eliminate the other. And the one that have the power to eliminate the other is the Buhari's camp. Buhari's camp have all the resources.
Yes.
The governmental resources, everything that you want to, everything you want to talk about, they have it. So, but you see this party, we are telling you people, Nigerians, this is not the party that can govern you. They don't have a party.
Campaign manager.
Yes, a party that does not have national working committee. National working committee is different from the it's a constituted group of people that come from all the, what do you call it? All the interests within the party. And when any problem is coming, it's this national working committee that will quickly come together and then agree on one thing. And based on the agreement, that is what the party, that is what the party position, that is the position, that is going to be the position of the party. They will quickly move, make a decision, and take a position on issue, on every issue. And that is, they drive the party. But this party doesn't have it. This party doesn't have it. So it's the power, is the power game that is going on here between CPC and ACN. I think it's ACN, but Tinubu party is ACN, and Buhari's party is CPC. So we continue to watch them.
I think they are going to pull out. I think the Tinubu faction, they're going to pull.
Yeah, that was the question.
They are going to pull out now. If they skim them out of the party, then there's no point being in the party anymore. You know, so if they want to turn it into a Fulani party, then Tinubu is not a Fulani man. Fashola is not a Fulani man.
That's exactly
so
that's the end of Tinubu.
I wanted to ask that question. That what will you advise Tinubu to do at this point?
He will. But there's two things that will happen. He will have to give up that presidential ambition, but then he will have to also pull out of that arrangement. And when they pull out, then they revert to what they were before, CPC and ACN. So then
that's the end.
That's why I said that this is the end. It will just be they just came, they grabbed power, they stole, and then they imploded. That will be the narrative.
That's the end of his lifelong dream now.
Well, no,
that's the end of his lifelong dream.
If they don't give him the presidential ticket, then that is the end of that dream anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is he doing there?
Look, what I think, let me tell you this, one man, you cannot have it all. When it comes to a situation like this, you have to give in one thing for the other. If you want to grab the presidency, then you have to let them have the control of the party. That is the way it can work out.
No, if they give him the presidency, then they can have control of the party.
When
he becomes president, then they will have to calibrate.
That is
what
that
you are
is the
saying
best way to do it.
Might likely going to be the case. The party is going to split. But why don't you think the party split at this time?
But if the party splits, will even Mahmoud Yakubu be sufficient enough to rig it and they still hold on to power? Because if that party splits, they lose power.
Well, what I'm saying, if the party split, this new national movement-led people, would you think they join CPC? And again,
okay. Well, you are saying that, so let me bring that into play. So you are talking about Kwakwanso, Abi?
Yes. Now there's another one again. This guy, what's his name? Pato Tomi.
No. Before you go to Pato Tomi, hold that Kwakwanso space because we're there already. So that's Kwakwanso in play, and look behind him. Who's that? Who's that behind him?
The cabal. When was this one?
This was about 10 days ago.
God damn. You see what I'm saying?
Who is behind him? One man.
That's Abubakar Malami. You can see him. That's him right there. and you can see all the red hearts. So the Kwakwansias. You can see all their caps, Kwakwansias. And then in the middle, dotted. Is that Ganduje that we also see? So we see Kwakwanso, we see Abubakar Malami.
Well, all this video, we cannot, I don't want us to hold on to this kind of video because we can't hear the audio. You know, Kwakwanso was a former member.
Music. The audio is just music, so I delete because I don't want it to strike me. So,
during the reconciliation, they do a couple of days, weeks back.
I don't think this is recent.
No, I'll tell you when it was. It was because this is on his Instagram, Abubakar Malami. So he put this out. This was on the 19th of February. So approximately 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Concourse have na PDP guy, so yes, this is what I'm alluding to.
But I am thinking that it might be an old video when Kwankwaso was a member of APC and not
no, that
really
wasn't an old
resistant.
video. No.
Eh?
That was on the 19th of February. So there's recalibrations going on, and I think you know these people are not natural bedfellows. These people, they have a natural distrust of Southerners, and Southerners have a natural distrust of them.
Yeah.
So even within that political party, they are not suddenly going to become different people. That natural distrust is still there. So they just used this APC as a special purpose vehicle to seize power. But then you see, they got rid of Oshiomhole. Why? Because they have a natural distrust of Southerners. And then they put in Abubakar Buni, and Tinubu is now being edged out. Why? Because the South has a natural distrust of Buni. So now they are now bringing in Sani, but who is he playing for? You know.
I think the mistake Tinubu made was to make Oshiomhole the chairman of the party. That's what started this problem.
What do you mean?
What do you mean he made? He didn't make him.
They zone that. Hold on. They zone into that. So that zone now. The chairman was zoned.
You know what happened? Only Oshiomhole do that zone.
Hold on.
Is he the only man in that zone?
No, hold on. That state. Wait. That state. The chairman then was
Oyegu. Oyegu, yes.
So when they took down Oyegun, they asked that state to bring another chairman.
It's only Oshiomhole in my state. That's my state. Only Oshiomhole we get.
Okay, that is the best person that they had that time. Who is the person?
Let me explain what I mean first. Let me explain what I mean by his biggest mistake was making Oshiomhole the chairman.
Okay.
Yes, he used Oshiomhole to do what he needed to do. Go after Okorocha, go after anybody that he needed to go to. But you forget that Oshiomhole, because of his own ambition in the state, trying to make sure his own boy is there, is also a clue for his opponent to take him down.
No, just ignore that. I don't know. No, please. Don't. Let's leave this conversation. Let's keep it high. Let's not go to that. That's just somewhat ridiculous what you just said.
Now, talking about the mergers and the mergers, I was thinking that the group that Pat Otomi was leading, I was thinking that it's part of the Konkosia, led the national movement.
It is now. Is it not? It's Kwakwanso. It's Pat Otomi. It's Atihiru Jiga. Atihiru Jiga is there as well.
Listening to him yesterday, he has joined his own that faction. No, that's what I was saying. I don't know if it belongs to that. They are pitched tent with ADC or ADP. Is
that Kwakwanso now?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, maybe they are the movement and they are not together. That's the question I'm asking. That's what I mean, because
where is Kwakwanso? Is it with this new formation? Has he joined a new party? Has he joined the we don't know where or is he still with PDP? Or where is he?
Yes, he's still a member of PDP.
Yeah.
But they are just, I mean, according to them, the national movement consists of both party member and non-party member, all those kind of, so it's a movement according to them. But yesterday, when I was listening to Pat Otomi, he's pitching that with ADC or ADP. I have to be very sure of that, but it's a registered party, and that is what they are going to go with.
Oh, to use that as a vehicle for their...
As a vehicle. So I'm not saying that, okay, if APC actually split as we, put it between CPC and the Tinubu wing, we do be Tinubu wing, we now, they will find a way to make,
to form an alliance.
I mean,
no. Ovie, no. Party Tommy said it categorically that new party will not absorb these criminals that you see in the two parties everywhere. That is what he said. He said they want people of high integrity, people that have names in different field of life that they can put forward to rescue Nigeria. He said that is what they are meant for. He said they are not going to welcome all these criminals that have been running the affairs in Nigeria for the past since 1999 that are known as criminals. He said they are not welcoming them in that. And that's a very good decision. So saying that when Tinubu loses from APC is going to go, is not going there. Tinubu is not going to leave APC. They are going to be there and they will find their way out of that.
Well, if you weed out the criminals, then who is left in politics? And yeah, okay, who are they going to? That means they have to go to the broad street.
What does it even mean, sir?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is to bring out a new set of people that are well known in different field of life, maybe in banking.
He is part and parcel of these ones now. He's not new now.
What do you say?
He's the part of himself, being not part and parcel of the system. It's not new now.
What do you mean by system? Is he part of a corrupt system? Have you seen him being?
Yes.
Okay, tell me now. What are you talking about now?
Now my neighbor now. My neighbor.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, it's your neighbor? Has he been? Hold on! Don't let us turn this conversation into play. Has he been the governor? Hold on.
Politically, yes.
Hold on. Have you seen him in any political position that you can say that this man has been part of corrupt people or he has occupied a position and he perpetrate corruption? Have you seen Itomi in such a position before?
Politicians don't operate in a vacuum. They work with the professionals, both in government and in private sectors, to perpetuate their corruption activities.
So if a politician comes to you now for consultancy, and they said, write us a paper on how we can make electricity work in our state or educational system. I mean, and you wrote them for them and they pay you. So does that mean that you are part of them? They pay you for your professional fee, or what they ask you to do for. So you cannot. So you look. You can't classify Itomi as part of this criminal. No, it's not. It's not part of them.
Is he not a member of APC?
Actually, he's one of the founding members. He's one of those that wrote, but they hijacked it from him.
Wait now. They
hijacked the party from him. Criminals. These politicians you are seeing, they are criminals. They have their own game.
The same person that brought business for you in the name of your professional work, you collect the money. Now you are starting a party. You say the person won't come join. You say no, not criminal MB. It's not suitable to be here. Does that make sense?
What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
You said if as a professional, if I'm a consultant and the politician come to consult me and he pay me, does that mean I'm corrupt? But on the other hand, you are setting up a political process. You can't say you don't want the same politician will be your client that is too corrupt.
No. There are two different things now. What you are saying does not correct.
You want to say he is not corrupt because he's a consultant to politicians, right?
That analogy is wrong completely.
That is your analogy, now it's not mine.
No, look, if I did for my business place now, you can't come to me. Oga, I know say now this work you they do. I want you to help me. Give me idea how I can govern well.
Okay.
I said, okay, no problem now. But if you want my idea, if you want me to give you how you go fit govern well, now like this, now how much are they charge you?
Yes.
You said, okay, no problem. You pay me. I give you all those paper where you go implement. You can't enter government finish. You can't go steal money. Why do you want to hold me responsible? That because I wrote a paper for this guy on how to govern well, that I'm part of the corrupt practices that he perpetrated. You can't hold me responsible now. I have done my own part. So it's different from forming a political party.
When
you are forming a political party to rescue the nation in crisis, you don't want leaders that are known as criminals that have brought that system down, that are known that are the one that brought the system down. You don't want to absorb them into a party to rescue the nation again. So do you understand what I'm saying now?
Can I respond to it now?
Okay, respond.
You understand now? The same client, the same person that will come me to design me, give me a policy that will make me govern well. You give me that policy, fine. I go into government, I turn it the other way around. Now, you wake up the next day trying to form a vehicle that will lead you to government. I can't talk say, oh, are they interested?
Not next day, now several after years. When you don't govern, you don't diverge the system. Okay, I hear you.
One man, I know, I know. I'm just using just for the sake of a conversation. I maybe they use the next day. I'm not saying it happened like that. You know, we are talking about years after they govern. Now, you won't confirm another vehicle that will take you to, because you feel that the way I govern, no be the better way. You want the same person, you with my client. You won't confirm another vehicle. I can't say I am interested. Maybe the reason that I'm interested is to now say, okay, well, that policy way you drive before, this is an opportunity for me and you to work it together in the same boat. You can't say, no, I'm too corrupt. I don't. Does that make sense?
You listen to yourself too. Somebody you gave a paper, you write a policy paper.
But you know, I know corrupt.
Hold on. You wrote a policy paper and you gave it to him to go and implement. He failed to implement it, but rather corrupt. Hold on.
Before I come meet you, say make you drive policy for me. I'm not corrupt at that time.
Why you did? Wait. You wrote a policy paper, gave it to him, go and implement. He got there, instead of implementing it, he corrupted the place, he didn't implement it, he corrupted the place, he looted the resources, he run the system down, all right? Then I, that gave you the policy paper, now came up with a new party to rescue the system that you have rocked down. And then you, that rocked the system down, saying, oh, you want to come and join me, and you want me to accept you when you fail, you rock the system down, when everybody in the nation have seen that you are the one that rocked the system down, you want me to absorb you into my own party so that you can come and rubbish me with your own image too, that, oh, we are both corrupt. No. It doesn't work well. We should let you go. We don't want you as part of, because you are corrupt element. You rock the system down. I want to rescue the system. I must not have you with they mustn't see you as part of me, because
this is my question.
You that we kill my own image. That we send a message to the public that we are both corrupt. That, oh, these are corrupt. They are the same people, corrupt people. Come on, Ovie, listen to yourself.
I have a question for you. I got a question for you, Ajaneko. Before they go meet and say, write a policy for me, you don't say they're corrupt that time, or they were not corrupt.
You say whether I corrupt that time. I don't tell you whether you look.
Before this politicians go meet and may write policy for them, you know,
all right. I'm not sure that either of you will land the point, because Ovie, just in broad strokes, I don't think Ajande Koko is saying that Party Tome is the most innocent of innocents. But so in terms of clean politicians, he will come under, within the Nigerian context, a clean politician. And the overall feel of his politics is for the greater good. So when you're thinking of corrupt politicians, you are not thinking of Patutome as a corrupt politician. But you are saying that he has occupied political spaces and he has politicked with these people that he's now calling corrupt. So how clean is he first to be defining who is clean or corrupt? So there's merit to both. But in terms of the Nigerian context, the cleaner politician, you probably look to somebody like Patu Tome. But gentlemen, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, and you know what that means. You know, these afternoon sessions, you know, the conversation always so intriguing, but just very, very few more words from you, from both of you, and then I'll round off. So we go first to Ajan Lekoko and then to you. It's just not really closing remarks, but just a few words just to round off your thoughts. So we go to Ajan Lekoko, then to you, and I'll shut it down. So Ajan Lekoko.
Well, the story of MAMMAN VATSA that you brought on the show this afternoon is a very sad story that Babangida did not have compassion for his friend, a childhood friend that they grew up together, went to the same school, and grew up and joined military maybe at the same time, grew up together in military to the top echelon of the military, but you know, in time of problem, could not come to the rescue or have compassion to save his friend, but rather killed him and subjected the family into serious pains and suffering. Well, it's so bad, but God, as a merciful that we know, have kept the family well. The woman, God has been so merciful to her to raise the children, and they are all successful. But Babangida is languishing in ill health condition right now, and he will remain in ill health condition to the rest of his life. So, one man, I thank you, Ovie, I thank you all, and I hope our people that are going to vote will not vote for APC or PDP, but vote for a new party. I am for AAC. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ajan Lekoko. See you later in the day. So just a few words from you, Ovie, and then I'll shut it down.
On the part of Toby, I get personal beef with him. I used to live across his school, Lagos Business School, and they have a very big and well-graced mini stadium inside their facility. Make I just cross my road, cross my house, go there, go jog, go do exercise. They go say no, they will not allow me, even though they know say I live across there. So I hold that against him. So I don't follow her since. He's corrupt. If that is, even though that does not amount to be an act of corruption, but for me, I hold it against him. For many months, many weeks, I go there around just to go stretch, work out for example in school. They don't go allow me. They go say, Oga say no, Oga say no. Who be the Oga? Nah, be the Oga. So on that note, see you guys later. On our politics, Mona go register.
All right, thank you, Ovie. Hopefully, we'll see you later in the day. So we'll give the final words to Ajan Lekoko's, not to Ajan Lekoko, but to Alexander Gomez's super chat in the direction of Ajan Lekoko. Ajan Lekoko, an exceptional political analyst, so knowledgeable. And that, of course, is why we delight in Ajan Lekoko, an exceptional political analyst, so knowledgeable. So that's been the afternoon session. We'll reconvene in the evening. Conversation carries on in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, carry conversation on in the and say peace.